What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Now, before we just get into this, yes, my voice is absolutely obliterated. It's even worse than Michael Cole's at the end of WrestleMania 35. My voice is cracking more than Jeff Hardy in 2011, but I will try my best, so bear with me.
When it was all said and done, The Rock must be puberty.
Join us now as we look at the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including the truth behind the new WWE title revealed, plans for Big E's return to WWE, The Rock not scheduled for WrestleMania 41, blading now permitted in WWE, AJ Styles unhappy, is Chris Jericho leaving AEW, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new videos on Wrestlelamia XL. Now let's see the intro and get straight into our first story. Our first story looks at the truth behind the new WWE title revealed. Our top story today takes a look at a new report relating to the status and long-term future of a new WWE title. This past weekend at Crown Jewel, Triple H announced to the world at a Crown Jewel next month, WWE will have 2 champion versus champion matches, and the winner of these 2 matches will become Crown Jewel champion. Fans have been speculating on how the title will work long-term, and most of the consensus online was that the title would just appear and be mentioned when it's time for WWE to deliver a show in Saudi Arabia. This looks to be the case, as according to a new report from WrestleVotes Radio, the title will exclusively be featured on the Saudi shows and won't be mentioned for the rest of the year. Whilst it's great that the Saudi fans get their own title, this does seem like a novelty title, just like the title that Braun Strowman won at the Greatest Royal Rumble back in 2018. With that being said, Cody Rhodes vs Gunther and Nia Jax vs Liv Morgan are the 2 matches set for Crown Jewel, and it'll be interesting to see what 2 names WWE decides to make inaugural Crown Jewel champions. Next up, Big E's WWE Return Plans. Big E has been out of action since 2022 with a broken neck, and there's little hope when it comes to the former WWE champion potentially being cleared. Since his injury, Big E has been kept around, and he's predominantly worked on the kickoff panels for PLEs, and while it's great to see that WWE have found a new role for Big E, it would make for an iconic comeback if Big E was somehow able to get the all clear. But we now have some positive news relating to Big E, courtesy of WRKD Wrestling, as according to them, the angle involving Xavier Woods turning heel could lead to Big E returning. There are potential plans in place that teased Xavier Woods' heel turn angle leads to Big E returning to WWE programming and reuniting the New Day should Big E be cleared. As the report states, this all depends on Big E being cleared, yet the Woods heel turn tease does seem to be leading to some kind of involvement from Big E. As we mentioned, Big E is present on the WWE kickoff panels for PLEs, so it would make a lack of sense for Big E to fail to reference Woods' change of attitude during one of these appearances, and this will hopefully lead to an appearance on Raw in the coming weeks. Next up, Rhea Ripley re-signs with WWE. Positive news for fans of Rhea Ripley, as it's been reported that Ripley has signed a lucrative new deal with WWE. PW Insider first reported yesterday that Ripley and WWE have come to terms on what is said to be a 5-year contract, with the deal just needing to be signed. It also comes with a considerable raise, which is certainly justified based on Ripley's popularity. It's also Ripley's birthday today, and the former women's champion turns 28 years old, so we're wishing her a very happy birthday. Next up, a huge name working Survivor Series. As we all know, CM Punk is taking a short break from WWE programming. This is being sold on TV as him selling the effects of his brutal Hell in a Cell match, but it's also to write him off TV ahead of the Crown Jewel show in Saudi Arabia. Punk is expected to return to TV next month, and according to WrestleVotes Radio, Punk is indeed set to work the annual Survivor Series event. It's rumored that Punk will collide with world champion Gunther at the event, and this is a certified dream match and a world title showdown that would justify a spot on a Big 4 PLE match card. The potential Punk vs Gunther match will have a ton of interest, especially because there's such a strong possibility that Punk wins the world title. If Punk vs Seth Rollins is still the plan for WrestleMania 41, and if Triple H plans on having the match main event night 1 of the 2-night spectacle, then Punk walking into WrestleMania as world champion isn't out of the question. Some fans would argue that Punk vs Rollins doesn't need the world title attached, and this argument has a ton of merit, and it makes more sense for Punk vs Rollins to be sold on their mutual hatred rather than the world title. It was rumored that a Gunther vs Goldberg match is on the cards, but according to Dave Meltzer in the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the match isn't planned for Survivor Series or even WrestleMania 41. Now, the idea behind Goldberg's appearance at Bad Blood looked to be solely because the show was in Atlanta. Whilst Goldberg has been open to another WWE match, it doesn't look to be on the creative roadmap anytime soon. Next up, blading now permitted in WWE. WWE is now allowing blading for key matches and angles, according to Dave Meltzer in the latest edition of The Observer. According to Meltzer, CM Punk was planned to blade during his match with Drew McIntyre, but McIntyre was not meant to bleed. McIntyre was busted open thanks to the brutal shot from the toolbox and required a number of staples in his head. The match received widespread praise from fans, and even Dave Meltzer awarded the match a 5-star rating, which marks Punk's first 5-star rating since 2011. Next up, The Rock hints at WWE future. The final boss himself, The Rock, has taken to social media to hint at his WWE future. The Rock made a surprise appearance at Bad Blood last weekend, and now The Rock has told fans that the show isn't over until he says it's over, and that he will see him down the road. The show ain't over until the final boss says it's over. There's no business like show business, and there's no connection stronger and more electrifying than that of the people and the people's champ. You can feel the mana. Final boss engaged. See you down the road. There have been rumors that The Rock will work Survivor Series next month, yet there's been nothing official released in relation to this. Next up, The Rock not working WrestleMania 41. Speaking of the final boss, a new report from Dave Meltzer, the Wrestling Observer, has certainly thrown a spanner in the works when it comes to WrestleMania 41. Meltzer is reporting today that as things stand, The Rock won't be wrestling on the grand stage next April. As of right now, Dwayne Johnson is not scheduled for the show. Obviously that could change and he's going to do what he wants all the time. While nobody can say it publicly, some with old school mentalities didn't like the idea that he stole the show and it's not building to a match. He is not going to be able to do Mania. He already gave the word that he wouldn't be able to do that match when asked about The Rock versus Reigns versus Rhodes. It did seem like a given that the Great One would work WrestleMania 41 next year, and it's been reported this week that the WWE are building towards a triple threat between The Rock, Roman Reigns, and Cody Rhodes. Next up, AJ Styles unhappy. It was reported last weekend that AJ Styles had suffered a legitimate injury on SmackDown, and according to Dave Meltzer on the Wrestling Observer, AJ was pretty mad about the ordeal. It's been reported that the wrestling legend suffered a mid-foot ligament sprain. AJ was actually set to begin a storyline that would be his farewell tour, and he would even tease retirement. It's reportedly still the creative plan for AJ pending the results of his MRI. We're wishing AJ a speedy recovery. Next up, new WWE Collab Revealed. WWE's next collab looks to have been revealed. According to WrestleVotes Radio, WWE are in talks with Microsoft over a new Call of Duty deal. This deal will see WWE release special Call of Duty commemorative title belts, just like how they've done for football teams this year. This is a smart business move from WWE as the video game market is huge, and the crossover appeal here is truly astronomical. And finally, is Chris Jericho leaving AEW? Our final story today takes a look at recent comments from Chris Jericho, who revealed that he has no plans to leave AEW and pursue other options, such as a return to WWE. Jericho, who's been with AEW since its inception, spoke to Comic Book, and this is what the multi-time former world champion had to say. It's a pretty cool kind of FU to anyone that didn't think we could do it. Now seeing this television deal and the amount of money we've got for it, we're on our way and we're not going anywhere. There's really no reason for me to go anywhere else right now. I enjoy working for the Khan family and I enjoy working for AEW. I'm happy. Even though Jericho has no plans at the current time to leave AEW, it's a given that he will one day be inducted into the Hall of Fame, and this eventual induction could even see Jericho have a final run in the company where he spent the majority of his career in. But there you have it folks, the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content. Fuck.